Hey, everybody. Michelle is here on this Friday the 13th. Ooh, are you scared? Are you scared? So I wanted to come back and clarify something about what I'm sensing. I'm sensing something. I just want to go ahead and make sure I clarify and make sure I'm speaking clearly and effectively, and whatever I'm saying is understood, because there's a lot of misunderstandings, and it's always hard to do things online, and I know that. But at the same time, what am I supposed to do? Okay, especially when I know that I have some things that I am joyfully, and I have some enthusiasm about sharing. You know what I mean? So, so I'm good, but I also want to make sure I'm understood. So, I said something about, yeah, I gotta, my color hue is weird, but anyway, who cares? But anyway, so now I talked about the dawning of the age of Aquarius, February 3rd, 2029. And I told you that's a cosmic event that may be eventful for some and uneventful for others. Okay? Now, I also told you that there was something eventful in 2022 that most people appears to have not been aware of. Okay? However, when a cosmic event happens, whether you're aware of it or not, you're going to be affected by it. Okay? So in other words, there's not anything that you're going to be able to, it's a cosmic event. So that's going to affect you because that's energy based, right? Okay. Again, whether you accept it or not, whether you are aware of it or not, or whether you are unconscious or not, anytime a cosmic event happens on a planet, such as planet Earth, it's going to affect all of the human beings, animals, everybody that's on that particular planet, whether you are conscious of it or not. Now, I also said that everybody's going to be coming out of the woodworks. Some are going to be false teachers, some are going to be genuine teachers, and it's going to be up to you to determine that. Okay? And it's going to be your responsibility to be able to discern it based on as best you can, based on your consciousness abilities. Okay? So that means what? that all of us at some point can be manipulated, even myself and others. It doesn't matter how great we are as teachers, or great as we are as giving information, or messengers, or whatever people are calling themselves out there in the world. You can always still be taken advantage of, and manipulated, made a fool of, be used. All those factors still exist, but for me, I kind of make it impersonal. I say, like I've always said, hey, it takes a fool to learn, right? It does. And I just don't make it personal. I don't make it, I figure, well, hey, it happens, and it does. So a lot of people do not want to be, sometimes just do not want to accept certain things and certain realities. Okay, that's fine. You really don't have to, but it doesn't mean that you will not be affected. So what's going to happen, like I said, is a lot of people are going to be coming out of the woodworks all over the place. Okay, and they're going to either, like I said, some are going to be genuine and some are not. And I say everyone, if you have a voice and you want to be heard, you want to leave a message for somebody, you never know what's going to happen. You want to control your narrative. I say put out information to do so. Okay, so that you, like I said, it's coming from your mouth, but you have to know that you are going to be held responsible and accountable, and there are consequences when you do such a thing. But it's also a liberation. All right, it's coming from you. All right, and that way you can over the course of time, you can start measuring your development because you hear yourself saying something, and that way you can challenge yourself and say, okay, is that still true now? Are those still my goals? Is that, I mean, am I actually walking the talk, or am I just rambling? Is that still hold value for me? Blah, 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 blah. So that you can monitor your progression, all right? And like I said, be able to, in a kind and gentle way, measure your success, failures, mistakes, whatever. Because you ought to be doing all of that. You ought to be making mistakes. You ought to be failing and, blah, blah, blah. That's part of, evolving and moving forward. What's going to happen is, as well, with a lot of people, okay, once they start realizing, okay, because what's going to happen is a lot of things are going to start getting filtered out. A lot of illogical conversations and illogical and not reasonable are going to start filtering themselves out, because what? People are going to start recognizing that no longer serves me. Okay, and that's going to fade away, just like anything. But this is a little bit more of a cosmic kind of thing. There's something that none of us has experienced before. Even though, like I said, something happened in 2022 that is on that realm of such. But the impact will not be known for a while, for a lot of people. So in other words, as we approach the dawning of the age of Aquarius, yes, there's going to be a lot. It's going to be a cosmic change, but a lot of us are not going to feel the effects of that for decades upon decades, personalities upon personalities, as we transition over in personalities. In other words, when you die and you pass that baton over, it's going to be experienced that way for the future. But quickly, a lot of things are going to eliminate themselves. These so-called values we hold dear, because they're going to be invaluable. They're going to disappear. They're going to eliminate themselves because they're illogical, and they're not going to survive in a evolving planet as planet Earth is. Okay, that's going to make sense. So again, see things literally, figuratively, and metaphorically. It's going to be something that you cannot control. How about that? And even though there's powers that be that want to control everything, they're going to get themselves wrapped up in some bullshit, per se, where they're not going to be able to handle it because of all the constant interference and having your hands in the soup, as they say, or you carrying on in labs and mountains and under the sea and in caves and doing all this nefarious behavior. It's going to catch up to you. Is my point. And a lot of you are going to be exposed. Okay. Now, what does that mean for the rest of us? Well, you still need to be evolving your consciousness, challenging your beliefs and convictions. Okay, and you be your own. You be your own hero, meaning you are doing everything in your power to align yourself properly, not follow in line behind people, but align yourself properly. Okay, that's your responsibility. It's not a teacher's responsibility. It's not a messenger. It's not a prophet, preachers, whatever. It's your responsibility to align yourself up properly and follow your alignment. And you can be silent. You can create a silent revolution if you choose to. Like I said, no one has to know. Okay, but at the same time, you can still have conversations with people, which I suggest. You can have discussions with people, which I suggest, because you need to give your consciousness something to cultivate. You don't want to not participate and socialize with people. Is my point. Okay, and so I've said quite a bit, and this is irrelevant to be ruminating over. When I say some people, their time is up. Okay, they're not going to know that. All right, they're not going to know their time is up. Okay, so I wouldn't be so concerned about it. Your consciousness protects you for a reason, but I still have to put that out there to let you know what is in store for some. Some are going to be just swimming in an abyss, and that's going to be reality. Either, more so in the future per se, but but don't ruminate over it is my point, because it's out of your control anyway. Because like I said, we've gotten so far out of control with our extremists, extreme views and fanatical views and opinions, and more so self-righteousness. My goodness. And then not to mention, we have this encasement of negativity that was caused by our thoughts. And it was caused by unconscious thoughts. It's why we have an encasement of negativity. Okay? We have extremeness with interference, so it's a lot to work through. But when I say be kind and gentle, I mean that. Be kind and gentle with yourself when you believe that you've wasted almost half your life on something. I want you to be gentle and kind about that, because a lot of people are going to have that revelation. Because I think my mom had that one day. Because I was, I watched her and I saw how she reacted at how she reacted during a certain period, which she, but it's irrelevancy. And I can tell in her face that she realized, oh boy, So be kind and gentle, and know that, if you don't know, you don't know. But there's always time, but then there's a time limit as well. When I say there's always time, well, like I said, you got to look at things. You can't be literal. But you need to be literal, and you need to see it as a figurative and metaphorically. Okay, you can't be fixed on terms and words, and that's what I'm attempting to avoid. That's why I do everything in my power to make you visualize it, so you don't get fixed on stuff that you can't control, and a lot of things that we lost control. So what you want to control is what I want to point out for you. What you are responsible for controlling is your behaviors and actions. Don't be concerned about what else is going on around you. You are responsible for your behaviors and your actions, and resolving your contradictions. And like I said, you're going to be saturated with a whole lot of people coming out of the woodworks, and that's the reality. That usually is what happens when there's a culmination. In other words, everything is coming forward quick. That means people are coming forward, messengers are going to come forward. Everybody, all of a sudden, they're coming out of the woodworks, and they are. A lot of it is what's the word? Income based. They need some income. Hey, let's be honest. There's bills due. There's an opportunity. A lot of people. Those that were, scamming back in the day. They're gonna, if they hadn't made a revelation, which in most cases they haven't, they're gonna be scamming now. And the internet is perfect for it. The social media platform is perfect for it. Okay, those behaviors, unfortunately, are not going to change. If they are deeply narcissistic and sociopath and and lying and this and that, those are not going to change. Okay, they're not, unless they have a, as they say, come into the light moment. Which is rare, by the way. That's rare for someone to do that, because it takes a lot of honesty, and it's like you got to really take yourself out there, and and a lot of people don't want to suspend their ego. Nobody wants to do that, because then that leaves them exposed, and it could leave you vulnerable too if you're not developed properly. So I hope all this makes sense. So my point is, there is a time. Okay, there is a time, and some have ran out of time. Now, what does that mean to you individually? It ought to not mean anything to you, because you need to go on what you are seeing, hearing, feeling. In other words, make sure you make things about you when it's time to. But then when it's not about you, see if you can see it impersonal. You can also see things that you're going through impersonal too. as long as you know that you can handle that. Okay, if that doesn't make sense, don't worry. It will. As long as you meditate, it will. Things will reveal themselves to you. So, again, enjoy the moments. Okay, that's the whole idea of what I'm saying. You can still enjoy yourself. You can still go out and dance and socialize, go to the movies and go to a club. But be mindful. However, that you are responsible for your behavior, and you're accountable for your behavior. You're accountable for the consequences. Do everything in your power to manage your thoughts and be concerned about what you are thinking, more so worrying about what other people are doing. They're gonna get theirs as well. It's cause and effect. It's called cause and effect. You can't fool your consciousness. And so as we're approaching this important dawning of the age of Aquarius, a lot of things are going to be culminated, but it may take decades, centuries, who knows, of time per se to know what it all means. But by that time, 200, who knows? Okay, who knows? And at this moment, it's really not much to be concerned about. Okay, just give yourself enough, support to handle your own backyard and your own thoughts. Okay, I hope that makes sense. If not, I'll answer. I see. I pick up stuff. I see questions all over the place on social media because I look for it, and all I do is just apply my help, and I apply information, and then allow you to do what you will. Okay, so the main thing is you will be surprised. Some people, there may be some revelations about things. There may be some harsh truths, and you don't want to necessarily attempt to take that all on you. Okay, it was a collective effort. We failed collectively, and as a result, there are some collective results from that. There are some individuals that have done the best they can, and you need to know, and you may be one of those, but do not be harsh on yourself. Be kind, gentle, and enjoy the moments. Find something that brings you joy. So, like for me, I like to laugh. So some of this stuff on social media keep me laughing for days. I like to laugh, and but I have to control it because my laugh can get out of control where I can't stop laughing. But anyway, so yeah, enjoy the moments. Be kind and gentle, but also stay as conscious as possible too, and stay grounded in your reality. Okay, hope that makes sense. Peace and love. Trust me, I'll be back.